What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, I've got something a little bit special for you. Today we're going to be taking a look at the sequel to Shardpunk. If you've never seen Shardpunk before, it was a game that managed to hybridize something like XCOM with something like Vermintide. It was a game where you were in a post-apocalyptic, I'd call it like Crystal Punk maybe? Almost steampunkish, I guess, in the way that it works. You were in a future where the world had fallen to a bunch of subterranean rats with cybernetic augments and powerful weaponry that had streamed up from beneath the surface to wipe us all out. It was a roguelike where you were trying to go as far as you possibly could with permadeath and guys dying and everything else like that, stacking up resources and storyline beats to hopefully make it to a safe refuge. The second game is now here, and the playtest is available to everybody, so I figured today we'd take a look at it for about 30 minutes and see if it's the kind of game that you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's one of those games that you would rather not play. That's also always an option, but if after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, the playtest is open to everybody. I don't know how long it's going to stay open, but you've just got to go to the Steam page and apply for it, and it should let you right in. That link is down below, and then on top of that, there's a bunch of other Nerdcastle links down there, just in case you wanted to give them the good old squeeze. Did you do it? Have they been squozing? All right. Now that they've been squozing, let's go ahead and start the demo off. Capital Ruins Industrial District. Expedition Day 5. Objective, scavenge the area for supplies. Okay, I can do that. That was a big motif in the first game, too, is that you were really kind of scrabbling for whatever you could get your hands on. So we've got 3 units at the moment, and the first thing that's really going to stand out is that they've upgraded the art style by quite a bit. The first game was by no means ugly. In fact, it had a very distinct style that I think stood out inside the realm of gaming, but I like what they've gone for here. It's definitely a little bit darker. It's a little bit grittier. It kind of reminds me of old 90s PC games from like the Syndicate era, and I dig that. I really, really like that era of gameplay design. It might just be nostalgia for my childhood, but let's go ahead and move people forward. I don't know exactly where the rats are going to be, and I may be making some pretty serious mistakes here by double moving people. I think that most people that play a lot of XCOM will usually advise that you never double move if you can help it. But until we uncover something, we'll just keep trucking forward. As far as weapons go, it looks like she's got some kind of shotgun. Yeah, it does like an AoE blast. Okay, we've all got overwatches. We can vent our weapon. Weapon heat is going to be one of the fundamental mechanics of this game. Inside the first game, that was the real problem that you had to deal with. The giant man-eating rats were a problem, but the fact that all of our guns run off like this crystal tech that overheats, you constantly had to be paying attention to how hot your weapon was, although some characters in the first game could like utilize the heat of their weapons in order to do extra abilities and stuff like that. What is this right here? Like, what does that do? It looks like we can search it. Yeah, let's go ahead and search it real fast. So we got a scrap, and it looks like we got a combat kit. I can live with that. The combat kit, it looks like from playing around with the demo previously, it gives us an extra grenade, which I think we're probably going to need as the game moves along. But I'm just going to kind of actually I'm going to pass a turn right here. I'm going to tiptoe in my Jordans until I know where these guys are at. I'm going to play this kind of cornball-y, like we're playing XCOM Enemy Unknown on high difficulty. I'm going to move like one space at a time until I uncover the pack that I want to uncover, since I don't know exactly where they're at just yet. Is there anything else lootable down here? Yeah, get people into like advantageous looting spots, and then we'll see what we can do here. 1 combat kit. Okay, what do you have going on? 2 shards. All right, probably not going to be useful right this second, but from what I recall, they were used for buying upgrades and things of that nature in the first game. Everybody move up, stay in cover. We do have like a big no man's land right here, which sort of concerns me. It looks like we can maybe swap our weapon too. Oh yeah, she's got a sword. When activated, the first 3 katana kills this turn refund up to 2 AP. Wow, get -2 movement range for the rest of the turn after the first katana kill. Oh, that's pretty spicy. So she's got kind of like an executioner mode that she goes into where she can dance in between enemies that are already sitting on like 5 HP and just be like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, and just have a banger of a turn annihilating an entire swath of enemies. So she's going to be kind of our she's going to be our like frontline vanguard, I think. Okay, move her a little bit across no man's land right here. I'm not in love with this, but I will point out that it looks like the map procedurally randomizes every single time you play through, because when I was playing around with the game just for like 5 or 10 minutes before this episode, this was not the map that I was on too. So continue moving forward. I was going to say, please don't let that reveal anything. If that reveals something, it's going to really suck. You don't want to reveal enemies at an inopportune time, and your last guy moving with his last AP is a perfect example of where you don't want to pop an enemy. We got another little no man's land right here, too, that we've got to deal with. Some pretty brutal spacing on this cover. All right, we'll just stay behind something. We're going to continue slow playing this because we still haven't popped anything just yet. Move rifleman forward. We've got no visual. All right, everybody move up and get behind something. We have an opening. Can we fit 2 people back there? Okay, well, let's fit 1 person down south then. And rather than spending like the first 5 minutes of this video slow walking across the map, I may... Oh, never mind. We've got reveals. Watch out for the rabid ones. Okay, so we've got some melee guys over there. There's no explosives or anything else that we can use to shut this down. But let's move people out over to here. And I'm going to try to dig in kind of behind all of this refuse and all this stuff. We'll lay down an overwatch right there just in case we need it. But it looks like they're going up and around the top. Oop, that one caught a bullet. That one did not. But it has granted us a little bit of a breather. So what do I want to do here? Well, obviously she's going to have to move up because she's got to be super close to accomplish anything on these enemies. Like, legitimately, she's got to be, like, crazy close. Let's maybe... So how many grenades do I have on everybody? I got 4 grenades right here. I'd prefer to save grenades for targets where I can hit 3 of them at a time. I'd like for him to fall back, if I'm being honest. Like, none of these guys really have ranged attacks, so falling back feels like it might not be a bad idea for right now. Grant an AP to a selected ally and it costs resolve, and we're sitting on 100 RPs right now. So we get 4 uses of those things. I don't really know how we restore them. It might be like a metagame restore type thing. Hard to say as of right now, but if I could sneak a grenade in right there, that'll kill 2 of them. So that's 2 down. I do like the way that they actually bounce outwards from where the grenade impact landed and exploded. If you paid attention to that, the one that was, so the grenade right there was a rat right there and a rat right there, and they move outwards with their bodies flopping in a very, very satisfying way. Maybe we'll go, I don't know. I can't really overwatch too much right there, so I suppose I'll go overwatch on that side. I'm a little bit worried these guys are going to be able to close the gap over here, though, which is not going to be a great situation. He has no targets. Technically, I can get him up over here. Let's do that so that if these guys sweep around and make it, we at least have them flanked. There we go. Put him to sleep. No more Overwatch, though. He took 11 damage right there. Not as bad as it could have been, but still not ideal. I want her to get crowded because she's got her AoE. Oh, they came in and flanked her. Interesting. Okay. We'll finish your guy off. He's now down. Can bullets pass through and hit my other guys? Hope not. We're about to find out the hard way, though, if bullets have mass in this game. Or if they, like, exist inside the gameplay area. There goes another rat right there, and are more of them going to spawn? In the first game, once you pop the first pack, it was sort of like an endless wave type deal, where they just started coming out of the woodwork and, like, reinforcing each other and stuff like that. Let's keep a solid forward momentum here, if we can manage it. I'm going to leave her out of cover, even though I think that might be a bad idea. You got shards and scrap right there. Okay, what do you have on that side? We got 2 more scrap. You move forward and take her position real quick. I also need everybody to vent their weapons. I want to go into the next fight completely and totally reloaded and ready to rock. So you vent out, because he's sitting at maximum heat at the moment. She only gets 2 heat, so yeah, we're going to want to vent our firearms before we go any further. Make sure these blickies are ready to do what it do. All right, we'll move up to here, and is that the end of the turn? I do not like this wide open area, man. I don't like it one bit. You move over to here, see if we can fish out another grenade or something. 2 scrap. Use your movement to get over to there. And did we pop anything? Doesn't look like we popped anything. I'm pretty intensely suspicious right now about my game plan, but I don't think I have much of an option except to move forward aggressively, because as of right now, we don't have any enemies on grid. So we're kind of free to move aggressively until then. Until we do have something tracking us and trying to catch us. I'm just going to sprint my way around. End that right there. Move up to here. And I think this is the supply crate that I'm supposed to be looting for the objective. 10 supplies. Okay, so supply crate has been knocked down. We got all we need. Let's get out of here. I think blue's probably going to be the evac, but I'm going to get a little greedy here because we got yellow spots on the right-hand side, and I'm going to see if there's anything inside of there that I would like to loot for myself. They're here. Oh, you weren't kidding. They're definitely here. Okay, that's a pretty considerable stack. Oh, and my dumbass out of cover. He's about to bust rounds at me, isn't he? Oh, he did not bust rounds. Okay, there was 0 busting happening. How do I want to do this? There's not a lot of cover to play around with. I'm going to put my shotgunner back here to clear the rear flank, I think. Because if she can just scuff them up a little bit with her AoE, then she can finish them off with the sword, presumably inside of 1 turn, would be ideally the way that I would like that to go. You pop shots on that one. Okay. You donate your tactical order to him so that he can follow up and fire again. Okay, that's 1 down. And then you move back behind hard cover. And then on this side, I would prefer it if you would just kind of hang out and overwatch, and you do something similar over here, just in case by some miracle they can cross that gap. Hey, I'll take it. Little damage off on him. That's okay. He uses up a spot right there where the other one can't get into. A little bit more damage right there as well. If we can soften these guys up for like a nice tactical grenade, I'd feel a little better about it. Unfortunately, her AoE is going to go unused. Little bummed out about that. Looks like he can split the difference on that corner too. So we're going to have to get a little bit grimy over here. Blow that thing up. Yup! And then clear out his flank. Good stuff. You, on the other hand... See, this is what I get for getting greedy. You got a 90% shot chance on him. Let's take it. I mean, whatever damage we can deal. Like, this guy is obviously up armored to a pretty aggressive extent. And he survived with 1 HP, dude. This is the worst. Okay, you move down to here. Make a little bit more of a gap. Oh, shit. Okay, that's really, really bad. I hate everything about that. You pop your resolve ability to get an extra AP. We are going to zap that dude. I don't know if it's going to be more prudent to cover my back or to cover my front. We kind of have problems right now. I think covering my back is probably wiser, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I don't think they can close that distance in 1 turn. And it looks like most of them are rerouting north anyways. That one just got zapped the second he showed up, so that's good. Oh, man, the movement on these little dudes once they get trucking. Yeah, he's going to have to med up on his next turn, I think. I don't see a lot of ways that I can sort of skeef my way around it. No shot came out right there, though, which is good. All right, you heal yourself. 25 HP is better than no HP, I guess. What can you do? So you've got a 41 on him. You got a 120 on him. Let's get down. Oh, he survived. That sucks so hard. I hate it. Okay, I'm going to need laser cannon over here to go away. So we're just going to smoke him out the fun way. She is overheated, which happened at precisely the wrong time. We can get 2 of them right there. And maybe use her free AP ability to do something else. Drop those 2. Oh, okay. All right, I see what happened. We can grenade these guys out right here, which I feel like may be our play just to soften them up. We've also got that idiot back there, though, that's going to laser her. Sort of conflicted between having him fall back to cover right now or chucking a grenade to soften these guys up, and I can't really make the decision very easily. That's a lot of damage right there, and we have more grenades on the next turn if he survives this turn. I'm gonna go for it and just hope for the best. But we don't know what the total damage is gonna look like on this turn. Unfortunately, you can't lean out around cover in this game, which I think is actually a mechanical flaw. Like, for a modern, like, 2025, 2026 XCOM game, you should be able to lean around corners and fire at guys when you need to. These guys fell into my trap so long as she survives. I think we should be okay. Got another one in the back, too. Man, the party never stops, huh? He's going to shoot at her. Yup, and it's going to be painful. Oh, he shot at her twice. Beautiful. Okay. What do I want to do here? This guy does not have a melee weapon. I mean, I think our opener is that we definitely want to have an extra AP right there so that we can AoE those guys down. All right, they're taken care of. That leaves her with 2 more action points, hopefully 1 to fall back behind cover and save herself. You fall back ever so slightly. And these 2 can catch a grenade straight to the dome piece. You do not have the ammo to do what I want you to do. He's only got 1 shot left, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to get myself out of this situation in a little bit more hectic of a way. She's got 2 AP left. Oh, but her weapon heat's too high. Okay, well, heal up so that you survive the turn and then fall back behind full cover. That's pretty much all I can do right here. And with his 2 APs left, I think the wisest move that he can play around with is that we just fall on that old XCOM classic where if the situation's not working out, hit him with that boom boom grenade clout. That's what I'm trying to do. These guys seem to be sort of locked onto their targets. No shots out, though. Okay, fire to there. Get behind something. Doesn't he have like a lead storm ability? He can fire 5 times. She's also overheated, so we'll vent that real quick. And can I like shorten this shot? Is there any way to do that? Like, let's say that I did not want to annihilate my own guy. Is there a way to fix that? You know what? Everybody just syringe. We'll stay in this one to win it. If anybody has like an AP left, just syringe it up. You move up to there. I don't think that they have the damage capacity to actually drop us from here. It's going to depend how many times she gets smacked. If he gets 2 attacks with 2 AP, we'll be okay. But if they get like a whole bunch of attacks, nice, dude. We ducked the bullets right there. Happy to see that we survived both shots, even though we're flanked and in unsolid cover at the moment. Now, she's free to ventilate that idiot right there. 33% chance to fire on him. Sweep around to the right. Hopefully we don't uncover any further packs. I don't know if they're going to keep coming. You syringe up one more time. You syringe up one more time. Let's just focus on healing everybody. We're going to overwatch down that way. Oh, there's more coming from behind. Okay, so I think this is one of those situations where I'm just supposed to leave. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Let's maybe get down over to here. Can he hit from there? He can't hit from there. Let's vent that weapon heat, and I think he's the only one that hasn't gotten cozy with his syringe just yet. You run up right here, and let's just shut this deal down right this second. Technically, she could run some more RP right here to get 2 shots, so let's do that. We'll bang this dude out real fast. Just hit him hard with the pistol grip pump. Oh no, dude, pistol grip pump has betrayed me. 25% chance to hit from right there. Unfortunately, I'm not getting shot previews, which once again is one of those things that should definitely exist inside a modern XCOM game, is that when I move my mouse around right here, it should be adjusting and showing me my hit chance on this guy so that I can make an educated decision about where I want to swing out to. In fact, I think the original Shardpunk did do that, so it may be just one of those cases where this developer is experienced, but he just hasn't gotten it in there yet. Maybe got a little bit excited to show off the playtest. I can totally understand that. Every now and again, I make a video that I am very excited to show off to people, and sometimes I upload too early and regret it. Hey, we landed the 50-50 coin toss, though. I'll take it. You continue just syringing like crazy. Don't stop until your bloodstream is like 80% stims. That's what I need from you. You get down here and start looting, because I want more loot. If there's one thing I know about myself in video games, it's that I am ridiculously greedy. You fall back behind this wall, because I don't think they can move that distance. And then we will hunker down, which leaves us with this gentleman over here, who may be able to do something from this position, except that his gun is overheated. So we'll have him fall back behind cover as well, since there's not really an action to take for right now. We got two more coming in from the north. I should probably just leave. That's the vibe that I'm getting right now, is that my greed may be getting me into trouble very, very deeply. Shotgunner doesn't have a job opportunity. I was going to say shotgunner job opportunity, but nope. Rush it. There you go. So with 2 AP left, she can move over to here. And guess what? 90-90! Go to sleep. That's right, you little rodent turds. I don't mean that. I actually am a big fan of rats and mice. I think they're pretty cool. Let's start falling back maybe in this direction. It may be the safest way for us to go. We are sort of leaving her high and dry on this side, which I'm not in love with. I like to operate on a leave no man behind type modus operandi, you know what I mean? I don't feel good about abandoning my teammates. I do like how you get multiple overwatches, though, per stack. That's pretty cool. I do wish, though, that if you got hit in an overwatch, it used up the AP that you were using to move, basically, because they still got to get 2 attacks right there. I would have liked it better if it did not go down like that. Should I just leave? Is this going to give me an extract option? Yeah, you just get the hell out of there. Alright, so she's out. You generally run for your life. I will have this fine gentleman here. Since he doesn't really have a whole lot left to play with, I'm going to have him hold an overwatch right there. We hit what we hit. Well, he still got the squeeze one right there. A little unfortunate. All right. And then fall back a little further. I would like for you to make that gunner back there very, very uncomfortable. You get behind cover right there, and we should be able to get the hell out of here. I'm not going to stress myself out too much about grabbing that last loot spot, but you have fun back at base, dude. And then you have fun back at base. Boom, boom, baby. Hell yeah. And so we got a little bit of XP right there that's going to allow our guys to move on up. And then you can see that we banked all of the supplies that we gathered off the map. Thank you for playing. Oh, that's it. Just very, very... yeah, dude, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that maybe just a little bit too early for the playtest. Just because even in like an early playtest, I'd like to see the connective tissue of what systems you're playing around with, you know, like the combat in and of itself. The things that I notice are being able to lean out of cover when you're alongside a wall. That's going to be a big deal breaker for me. So that definitely needs to be implemented, where you're granted sort of like that customary 5-foot step that you get in a D&D game just to take a shot, and then they go back into cover, just like they would in XCOM or just like they would in Phoenix Point or any of those other titles. That's pretty much the only thing that I've seen so far, though, that I think needs to be rectified, other than being able to see your hit chances. on proposed move tiles. I would also very much like to see that, because that's just one of those things that should be baked in. But yeah, a little bit early for this playtest right here, but what I will say is I very much like the new graphical art style. I think it looks pretty cool, but with how limited this playtest is right now, it's a hard one to call until there's a little bit more meat on the bones of the game. Up until that point, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it, because the first game was pretty entertaining. I thought it was a very intense game, actually. The first Shardpunk was one of those games that would have you sitting there with your hand on your forehead going, oh my god, like trying to figure out what you should do with the grid, and I definitely felt that oppressive pressure here today too, so it's managed to maintain that, which I think was one of the main selling points of the original Shardpunk. And so anyways, we'll pay attention to it, we'll watch out for future playtests. Normally, with how short the demo was, I probably wouldn't upload it, but we're kind of like in a dead period right now. Luckily, it looks like the dead period is lightening up next week. We should have 3 or 4 new things to show off, so I am going to upload this video despite the fact that it was a little bit shorter. But my name is Splat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with a game called Shardpunk 2, the sequel, shockingly, to Shardpunk 1. Who would have ever guessed? I will see you all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet, but up until then, it's time for me to go. Take care, folks, and that's all I got for you.